Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, gals and guys. In this edition of My Media Helpers Entertainment Online, we'll take a peek at merry and bright films that are streaming through the jolly bandwidth near you. This will be the last video where I will jump on different streaming servers to give you my best picks as to what flicks to check out this 2021 holiday season. There are so many movies on these streaming services, it's hard to determine what's worth watching. I want to recommend some of my personal favorites. The films I present to you aren't necessarily award winners by any stretch of the imagination. These are solid films, and they're certainly worth a watch during the festive season. And for today's picks, we're going to explore my top 5 of what Peacock has to offer in no particular order. Peacock always offers a great variety of free streaming films, and with Christmas, it's no surprise they had some great choices. And as I am posting this on New Year's Day, you officially have one more day to enjoy these. Just keep in mind, it's actually okay to enjoy these films all throughout the year. So let's wrap it up, shall we? Santa Claus the Movie is a 1985 British-American Christmas film starring Dudley Moore, John Lithgow, and David Huddleston. It depicts the origin of Santa Claus and his modern-day adventure to save one of his elves who has been manipulated by an unscrupulous toy company executive. It was directed by Johnny Zwark, S-Z-W-A-R-C, and was the last major fantasy film produced by the Paris-based father and son production team of Alexander and Ilya Sulkin, the Sulkins. So they did the Superman the movie franchise. Anyways, released in North America by TriStar Pictures on November 27th of 1985, Santa Claus the Movie was a financial failure and received mostly negative reviews from critics. In the Middle Ages, a woodcutter named Claus delivers hand-carved toys to the children of his village each Christmas, accompanied by his wife, Anya, and their reindeer Donner and Blitzen. Caught in a blizzard, they are saved by elves and taken to their magical workshop at the North Pole. Lead elf Dooley explains that their coming was a prophesized, and it is Claus' destiny to deliver the toys made by the elves to the children of the world, and that they, like the elves, will live forever. The following Christmas Eve, the oldest elf dubs Claus Santa Claus and explains that the night will last as long as it takes for him to deliver toys to every child on Earth. Donner and Blitzen join 6 other reindeer and are fed hay sprinkled with magical powder that enables them to fly, pulling Santa's sleigh through the air. As the centuries pass, much of the mythology and traditions surrounding Santa Claus develop. Conceived by Sulkin in the wake of the apparently waning critical and U.S. box office success of the pre-mentioned this 1983 Superman 3 and its immediately follow-up 1984 Supergirl, Santa Claus the Movie was directed by Supergirl director Johnny Schwartz there. From the story by David and Leslie Newman, Perez Spengler, Sulkin's longtime partner and longtime collaborator of the Sulkins, joined Laya, I'm not sure how you pronounce his first name, as the project's producer. John Carpenter was originally offered the chance to direct, but also wanted a say in the writing, musical score, and final cut of the film. Carpenter's original choice for Santa was Brian Dennehy. Schwartz, however, felt that he needed an actor with more warmth than Dennehy. Lewis Gilbert was another early choice for the director, but despite initial interest, he could not agree with the Sulkins over certain aspects of the script. Robert Wise was also offered the chance to direct, but had a different approach to the story. Guy Hamilton, who'd had to withdraw from directing Superman the Movie in 1976, lobbied hard for the chance to direct the film, but only on the condition that it be shot either in Los Angeles, Vancouver, or Rome. Ultimately, the Sulkins chose Schwartz because of their excellent working relationship on Supergirl. Oh my god, Supergirl. That's a terrible movie. Anyways, Leia Sulkin had remembered to scene in Arthur in which Liza Minnelli's character asked Moore if he's Santa's little helper. Moore was attached to the project early on and had a say in both scripting and choice of director. David Newman's first script draft named Moore's character Ollie, but Moore decided that the name should be changed to Patch, which was the nickname of his young son, Patrick. Moore had briefly been considered to play the role of Mr. Zhizhilplick, one of Superman's enemies, in the Sulkins' aborted original script from Superman 3, and for the role of Nigel in Supergirl. He turned down that role, but suggested his longtime friend and comic partner Peter Cook as the part. Sulkin wanted an American actor to portray Santa Claus because he felt that the film focused primarily on a piece of Americana in much the same way that Superman the Movie had. Schwartz screen tested such actors as David Weil, who, being in his late 60s, was considered too old for the role, and Moore's Arthur co-star Barney Martin. For a while, Salkid actively pursued Carol O'Connor for the role before Schwartz showed him David Huddleston's screen test, which won Salkid over. For the role of Beezy, the producers wanted a star with a similar stature to Gene Hackman when he had played Lex Luthor in Superman the movie. To this end, they offered the role to Harrison Ford, who turned them down. They made offers to Dustin Hoffman, Burt Reynolds, and Johnny Carson, each of whom also turned the part down. Eventually, John Lithgow was settled on after Salkid watched Terms of Endearment and realized that he had a Grinch-type look to him. The Salkins are so weird. The role of the ancient elf was written with James Cagney in mind. Though he liked the film's overall idea, Cagney at 84 turned the role down due to being too weakened by age to perform it. Fred Astaire was considered, but when this eventually came to nothing, Dudley Moore suggested his friend Burgess Meredith for the role, which he, in the end, won. At the time of the film's announcement in mid-1983, the British press carried reports that diminutive actors such as David Jason, Patrick Troughton, and Norman Wisdom would be cast alongside Moore as fellow elves, but none of them were. Santa Claus the Movie was filmed in Buckinghamshire, England at Pinewood Studios between August and November of 1984. The film was photographed by Arthur Ibbotson, whose credits include Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Santa Claus the Movie was his final feature film. Serving as film editor was Peter Hollywood. The production was designed by Anthony Pratt with costume design concept by Bob Ringwood. The visual effects unit, as well as several of the production staff, were Salkid stalwarts from Superman films. Derek Meddings, director of visual miniature effects, Roy Field, optical visual effects supervisor, and David Lane, flying the second unit director. This seems like the bastard child of Christmas movies. No one really talks about Santa Claus the Movie. It never became any type of holiday classic, yet it captured the spirit of the holidays, the mythology of the Santa Claus beautifully. It's normally hard to find to watch, and was most pleasantly surprised when this showed up on Peacock. Good job, Peacock. The film is stunning to look at with quality score by Henry Mancini. Santa Claus the Movie can be over the top at times, but hell, you can say that about Elf, another great holiday film. Watch it, you'll enjoy it, and sorry about all the mispronunciations of all the names on that. Next! Die Hard is a 1988 American action film directed by John McTiernan and written by Jeb Stewart and Stephen E. D'Souza. It is based on the 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe, and it stars Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, Alexander Godunov, and Bonnie Bedelia. Die Hard follows New York City police detective John McClane, who is caught up in a terrorist takeover of a Los Angeles skyscraper while visiting his estranged wife. Stewart was hired by 20th Century Fox to adapt Thorpe's novel into a screenplay in 1987. His finished draft was greenlit immediately by Fox, who were eager for a summer blockbuster the following year. The role of McClane was turned down by a host of decade's most popular actors, including Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. Known mainly for work on television, Willis was paid $5 million for his involvement, placing him among Hollywood's highest-paid actors. The deal was seen as a poor investment by industry professionals and attracted significant controversy before its release. Filming took place between November 1987 and March of 1988 on a $25 million to $35 million budget and almost entirely on location in and around Fox Plaza in Los Angeles. Expectations for Die Hard were low. Some marketing efforts omitted Willis's image, ostensibly because the marketing team determined that the setting was as important as McClane. Upon its release in July of 1988, initial reviews were mixed. Criticism was focused on its violence, plot, and Willis's performance, while McTiernan's direction and Rickman's charismatic portrayal of the villain Hans Gruber was praised. Defying predictions, Die Hard grossed approximately $140 million, becoming the year's 10th highest-grossing film and the highest-grossing action film. Receiving 4 Academy Award nominations, it elevated Willis to leading man status and made Rickman a celebrity. Die Hard has been critically reevaluated. It is now considered one of the greatest action films. It is also often named one of the best Christmas films. It revitalized the action genre, largely due to the depiction of McClane as a vulnerable and fallible protagonist, in contrast to the muscle-bound and inevitable heroes of other films of the period. Retrospective commentators also identified and analyzed its thematic concerns, including vengeance, masculinity, gender roles, and American anxieties over foreign influences. The film produced a host of imitators. The term Die Hard became a shorthand for plots featuring overwhelming odds in a restricted environment, such as Die Hard on a Bus. Speed, anybody? It created a franchise comprising the sequels Die Hard in 1990, Die Hard with a Vengeance 1995, Live Free or Die Hard in 2007, and A Good Day to Die Hard in 2013, plus video games, comics, and other merchandise. Deemed culturally historical and aesthetically significant by the United States Library of Congress, Die Hard was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry in 2017. And let's put this to bed right here and now. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas. It has Christmas music. There's a Christmas party. There are Christmas nods throughout the movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. The end of the debate. Not the end of this review video, however. Die Hard 2 is a 1990 American action thriller film and the second installment in the Die Hard film series. The film was released on July 4th of 1990 in the United States. The film was directed by Rennie Harlin, written by Steve E. DeSouza and Doug Richardson. It stars Bruce Willis as John McClane, and the film co-stars Bonnie Bedelia, William Sadler, Art Evans, William Atherton, Franco Nero, Dennis Franz, Fred Thompson, John Amos, and Reginald VelJohnson. As with the first film, the action in Die Hard 2 takes place on Christmas Eve. McClane is waiting for his wife to land at Washington Dulles International Airport when terrorists take over the air traffic control system. He must stop the terrorists before his wife's plane and several other incoming flights that are circling the airport run out of fuel and crash. During the night, McClane must also contend with airport police and a military commander, none of whom want his assistance. The screenplay was adapted from Walter Wager's 1987 novel 58 Minutes. The novel has the same plot but differs slightly. A police officer must stop terrorists who take an airport hostage while his wife's plane circles overhead and has 58 minutes to do so before the plane crashes. Roderick Thorpe, who wrote the 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever, upon which Die Hard was based, receives credit for creating certain original characters, although his name is misspelled on screen as Roderick Thorpe. I guess with an E they put an extra vowel on there. One of the writers of the screenplay, Stephen E. DeSouza, later admitted in an interview for the book Action Speaks Louder, Violence, Spectacle, and the American Action Movie that the villains were based on America's Central American meddling, primarily the Iran-Contra affair. The film was originally budgeted at $40 million. Bruce Willis was paid $7.5 million for reprising his role for the film. Producer Joel Silver was accused of profligate spending, and it was claimed the film cost $62 to $70 million. Fox domestic distribution president Tom Sherrick dismissed the $70 million claims as absurd. It was reported at the end of filming that Silver had been relieved of day-to-day producing duties. Scenes of Dulles Airport in the snow were to be filmed in Denver, but were scrapped due to warm weather. Some outdoor scenes were filmed in Alpena, Michigan, while others needing to accommodate the landing of a 747 with snow were filmed at former Kincheloe Air Force Base in Kincheloe, Michigan, I guess. Other scenes were filmed on a soundstage in Los Angeles using fake snow. Die Hard 2 was the first film to use digitally composited live-action footage with a traditional matte painting that had been photographed and scanned into a computer. It was used for the last scene, which took place on a runway. According to Franco Nero, Silver got the idea to cast him after he saw movie posters of Nero hanging in the office of their mutual accountant. Nero did not want to do Die Hard 2 because he did not like the script, and he had committed to do the film Breath of Life. Finally, Silver scheduled Nero's scenes in such a way that the actor could do both films. Now let's put this to bed right here and now. Die Hard 2 is also a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas, it has Christmas music, there are Christmas nods throughout the movie. Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie. The end of this debate as well. But again, not the end of this review video, of course. The Family Stone is a 2005 American comedy drama film written and directed by Thomas Bezucha, produced by Michael London and distributed by 20th Century Fox. It stars an ensemble cast including Diane Keaton, Craig T. Nelson, Dermot Mulroney, Sarah Jessica Parker, Luke Wilson, Claire Danes, Rachel McAdams, and Tyrone Giordano. The plot follows the Christmas holiday misadventures of the Stone family in a small New England town when the eldest son, played Mel Mulroney, brings his uptight girlfriend, played by Parker, home with the intention of proposing to her with a cherished heirloom ring. Overwhelmed by the hostile reception, she begs her sister to join her for emotional support, which triggers further complications. The Family Stone was released in the United States on December 16th of 2005 and was a commercial success with a worldwide gross of $92 million. Parker was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for her performance, while Keaton, Nelson McAdams each garnered a Satellite Award nomination. I never even knew this movie existed until putting these videos together. This was one of those pleasantly surprised watches. Very good movie. Check it out this holiday season. Fatman is a 2020 American dark comedy action film written and directed by Isham Nelms and Ian Nelms and starring Mel Gibson, Walton Goggins, and Marianne Jean Baptiste. David Gordon Green and Danny McBride serve as executive producers of the film. The plot follows an unorthodox Santa Claus who must fight off an assassin sent by a vengeful naughty kid. Filmed in Canada and released worldwide on November 13th of 2020, the film received mixed reviews from critics. Ian and Isham Nelms originally wrote the screenplay for Fatman in 2006 and had been shopping it around for over 10 years. On May 8th of 2019, it was announced that Gibson would play Santa Claus in the film. On January 29th of 2020, it was announced that Walton Goggins had joined the cast, and Marianne Jean Baptiste, I believe, joined the following month. Marianne. Principal photography occurred in Ottawa Valley, Ontario, and Quebec, Canada, and in towns of Carleton Place and Mississippi Mills in February of 2020. The climactic shootout sequence took 4 days to film, with the temperature hitting as low as 36 below 0 Celsius. I guess you could call this a Die Hard with Santa Claus playing the part of John McClane. It's always good to see Gibson in a movie and another holiday film at that. And yes, Lethal Weapon is also a Christmas movie. I always thought Gibson got a bad rap, saying some stupid shit while being intoxicated. I don't know about you, I've said a lot of stupid shit I didn't necessarily mean after several drinks, but that isn't the point of the review. The review is I liked the slant on turning Santa Claus into an action star, and the movie did the job. It entertained me this holiday season. And that's it, gals and guys. I'm going to go ahead and retire this hat for a year. And we're done with the 7 videos, and it's still New Year's Day, so I got them all in for the end of the holiday. I guess that counts, right? So, I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I have a Happy New Year. I hope it's a prosperous one for you, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that bell, all that good stuff. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye.